I first encountered Mr. Finnerty when he applied for the Global Education Worker post back in 2010. Until then, I had regularly seen him striding up to the train station and could see why he was later described to me as someone who looks like a Victorian villain with his neatly trimmed beard and smart dark clothing. I remember reading through his application and not being sure about whether we should shortlist him for interview. How wrong I could be. This was the first indication that here was a man who hides his light under a bushel. For years, I never saw his work at Global Link, as much of it was delivering workshops and teacher training in schools, but I always saw the glowing feedback from teachers and pupils alike. Anthony was a gift to work with, kind and considerate, compassionate, ultimately flexible, willing to travel distances to touch the hearts of children and teachers. A true global citizen, and always concerned with others more than himself. One of his texts after his operation read, "Listened to Brexit update on the radio and that did make me feel ill. News from Sudan is more encouraging and more important." This was a while ago. Global Link has been blessed to employ you, Anthony, these last 10 years. So it is farewell to our much loved colleague. We will all miss you.
I started working at Global Link in June 2016. I must have met Anthony early on in one of our team meetings, and my first impressions were definitely of a very handsome and very smartly dressed gentleman. But of course, more than that, he had a real sparkle in his eyes. He exuded humanity, warmth and spirit. And I only wish we got to spend more time together. I very much enjoyed being part of the Global Link team that put on the Lancashire Sanctuary Conference in Preston in November 2018. And what made that really special as well was seeing Anthony as our compere. And he was completely brilliant at this job. His ability to be both completely sincere about the situation of asylum seekers and refugees while also being outrageously funny was something incredibly special. And he will leave a big hole in Global Link and will be much missed.
Anthony, thank you so much for all your hard work and support for the past few years. It's been an absolute pleasure to work with you.
When I first met you, Anthony, I said to myself, what a handsome and smart man. I like you, especially because you are one of few who understand my Syrian joke. I will miss you and I hope to see you soon for a Syrian coffee.
It's been lots of fun working with you these past few years. I'm sure neither of us will ever forget our Documenting Descent project at Lancaster Farms, and I'm really glad we got to work together again recently on another Global Link heritage venture. Thank you for always being willing to share your extensive knowledge and insight about global education. I've learned a lot from you. Thank you also for your wry sense of humour, of course, but thanks perhaps most of all for your thoughtfulness, your compassion and your humanity. As a global educator, you definitely walk the walk, embodying those values you espouse in your work and showing all of us how a world based on those values is a better place.
Anthony, the Victorian villain, I like that. A Victorian villain with a big heart, a soothing presence and a wicked sense of humour. It's been an utter pleasure, my friend, working with you at Global Link, but also at the Global Learning Programme. And I will miss you. Come and see us soon. Much love.
You may not be my co-worker anymore, but you will always be my friend. It has been an honor to work with you. I've learned many things from you over the years we worked together, and on top of that, I enjoyed it. All the best with your future. Take care.
Trying to think of things to say about Anthony. How can you put 6 years of working with somebody with such a kind heart who you will miss greatly into a short sentence? I have really struggled with what I can say, so I'm just going to say goodbye, Anthony. I will miss you terribly, but don't forget, I know where you live, so I will come and find you. See you soon.
Anthony, thank you for your help.
I used to go to Global Link where I meet a lot of friends, and one of them is Mr. Anthony, who had played a big role in my asylum process and become friend and supported me during my hard time, the deportation, and during my detention, and he was there all the time. I would like to thank him for being a good friend, to thank him for being a very supportive friend during my hard time. and I know words cannot be enough to thank what he have done, and I would like to thank Gisela as well, as she had played a role as well on this part. And as I said before, Mr. Anthony is now became more like a family for me. So thank you for everything, Mr. Anthony, and really just I feel thank you is not enough, but that's the simple things that I can provide. Thank you.
Hi Anthony, it's me Bashar again. Sorry, I forgot to mention this. You have a really nice sense of humor. And I will miss that.
And hope that you will be able to visit the lunch drop-in and say when we ask you how you are, as you always do, I am good enough, thank you.